Providence coach Kim English joins us here on the Eye on College Basketball Podcast. It's great to see you. How you feeling? Less than 2 weeks out from season get going. Juice is flowing. You ready to go?
Yeah, really excited to get to games. A little banged up. This all season, this last few weeks. So hopefully once we get back to games, we'll have our full complement of our roster.
Dive a little bit deeper into that if you could. What's your injury situation at present? And I guess you're indicating you expect that to hopefully resolve itself within the next 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, they should be good in the next couple of weeks. Nothing catastrophic, just nicks and bruises and bangs.
Okay. How far along is Bryce's progress bar? Is he almost at 100%, 90? How would you evaluate him?
It's right now. It's about his comfortability. Getting hit, landing on it, feeling it. He's in more and more stuff on the court with our team, which is great to see.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the timetable is his comfortability is what's most important.
I find Bryce's role on this team to be one of the most fascinating storylines in the league. You tell me, does he need to be he's obviously been voted preseason all-conference first team? That's well-deserved. He was certainly trending toward that before his own teammate was player of the year last season. If you were going to make the tournament this year, does he need to clearly far and away be the best player on the team, one of the best players in the conference, or fill in for our audience some of the guys you picked up in the portal and where everyone else chips in? Because I think you can make a case that he's got to be that guy of Devin Carter level impact.
I mean, I'm not sure. Who was UConn's best player last season?
You bring up a good point. On any given night, it could have been a different guy.
The best teams in the country have a lot of different guys.
Yep.
Who was Marquette's best player, right? The best teams in this league, who's Creighton's best player? The best teams in this league have 3-4 guys that are really, really good any given night. UConn had 5. DR off the bench, they had 6 really good players. So, who he is, it's a night by night basis. He's going to be a cornerstone for what we do defensively, offensively. He can take bigger guys on the perimeter, smaller guys to the post. He can push it. He can guard. There's no limits. He could be the Big East Player of the Year.
Mm-hmm.
And first-round draft pick. But the most important thing is how it all fits into our team.
Who's the most vocal player in your locker room?
The most vocal? Jaden Pierre, the most consistently. But when Christ Asandiko is on, he's as good as I've ever heard.
Really?
From a voice standpoint.
Expound on that. What do you mean by that? And
he's loud. He has a bellowing, loud voice, which is great for the anchor of your defense. But he has to do it consistently. Now that's the challenge.
What did you learn as a head coach in your first year coaching in this conference?
I learned something every day. For the last 3 years, going on our 4th season, I learned something every day watching practice. Learned something I didn't know. Learned something different. I learned watching games at night. It's so much. You can't pinpoint it. And roster building, and game management, and recovery, and practice time, and practice planning, and decisions in games.
Yep.
So, and I think that would be true for a guy in his 30th year. I don't think you ever stop learning.
Let's discuss how you went about building your schedule this season. Obviously, you had that moment after you did not make the tournament, and to surprising results, frankly. I think most people thought Providence was going to be right there on the cut line, and you weren't even in the first 4 out. And you said, "I think the analytics are BS," or you said something along those lines. How did that impact how you chose the schedule for the Friars leading up to Big East Conference play?
We need to play really good offensively.
Yep.
You need to play really good offensively in your non-league, and that will help your metrics greatly. And we didn't make free throws. We didn't take care of the ball. We kind of let our foot off the gas at the end of some early season games. And we have to be better. We have a good schedule. We'll have 3 possible quad 1 opportunities, and in Atlantis,
Mm-hmm.
which is a great field. We have BYU coming to us.
Yeah, big game.
We have a 10-year season, 10-year, what's the word?
Series?
10-year series. That's
Yep,
the word.
there
We have
go.
a 10-year series with Rhode Island, so a road opportunity there. They look good, really good in the first half against Connecticut the other day. St. Bonaventure on a neutral was a really good team. And then we'll have games at home against Central Connecticut State, Delaware State, Stonehill, Hampton, and UW Green Bay. And we have to be better. Our schedule wasn't our issue last season. Our offensive efficiency was, and our inability to win some key close games. I looked at the Kansas State game. I looked at our game at Butler. I looked at our game here against St. John's as the reason we were out 6-1. 6 quad one wins wasn't enough. It usually is.
Yeah.
It's been historically, but it was some incredible upsets. Let's stop talking about not making a tournament.
I'm not.
New topic. It's over. It's a new
You're
season.
the one.
It's a new season. Stop bringing it up. We're moving on.
Are
okay?
we?
It's done. I haven't thought about it since April. Okay?
Well, I don't believe that for a second that you haven't thought about it since April. But regardless, when I say the word friar, what does that mean to you? Just friar.
Well, a man in a habit who is devoted his life to Christ in the church. But it's one of us. It's one of our guys. It's someone who's one of our guys, and our fans do an incredible job of embracing our guys, our student athletes. And now it's an electric fan base for sure.
Yeah, I mean, to be the coach of that program with that fan base in that building, I knew you knew the job you were walking into when you accepted it, but I have to believe until you actually got to coaching games at the Dunk or the Amp, whatever we want to call it.
It is the Amp. It is actually the Amp.
To you, it's the Amp. To me, it's the Dunk. To Providence watching.
Not though. It's like it actually is Amica Mutual Pavilion. That's actually the name on the side of the building. Like actually.
That must be just an incredible feeling to
have.
Where
do the Lakers play?
They play at Staples Center.
They don't play at Staples Center. They don't play at Staples Center.
To have that fan base behind you, though, that's got to be just because it truly it's unique.
What makes a job great. It's what makes a job really good. Winning at home matters. Having a chance to win at home matters, and having our fan base there, the love our players feel at all times. Like say what you want. Bryce Hopkins, Devin Carr, when they didn't want to leave. They didn't want, you feel it talking to Providence alum. They love their time at PC. Our players love their time. They don't want to leave. Like we get retention is the lifeblood of college basketball right now. And the college, the city, the state does an incredible job making our families, our players, their families feel really welcome.
We'll get you out of here on this. The pieces that you brought in, how are they fitting at this point? Just kind of for those that might be unfamiliar with some of the new guys in the program, how have they looked in the preseason, and how do you see their impacts on the season ahead? Yeah,
they've had good days, bad days, and they have to spend time learning us, learning our staff, and vice versa. I have to learn how to coach them. He's had some great coaching. Bensley Joseph coming from Jim Larinaga. Wesley Cardette played for his uncle the last 3 seasons.
At Chicago State.
Played for his uncle, Chicago State and Stanford. Krista Sandico, Jabri Abdurrahim played for Tony Bennett, Tom Crean, and Mike White. So they're adjusting to us. We're adjusting to them. They're adjusting to their teammates. It's early. We got to get better. We'll continue to get better as the days and weeks turn to months.
I appreciate you sitting down and chatting.
Thank you.
Chatting with me.
Thank you. Let me hear you say it. Amica Mutual. Go ahead.
Amica Mutual
Pavilion.
Dunkin' Donuts Center.
Pavilion. Amica Mutual Pavilion.
This is Kim English. She is the head coach of the Providence Friars. It's a Friar right there, Kim. Appreciate you hopping on, and we'll see you on down the way.
All right. Thank you.